we're now streaming. So actually, why don't we sort of set the scene? So we're at the CLAS 2017 event. I'm here with two of the students on the aesthetic medicine course, and I just wanted to ask you, what were your expectations of today, and how have you found the day so far?
Okay. First of all, it was really a good, good programs, and so I really want to thank our Queen Mary for organising this. So my expectation.
In actual fact, it hasn't been arranged by Queen Mary. It's been arranged by Farhad, but
Okay.
but there's definitely a partnership there anyway.
Sure. Being a Queen Mary student, so
Yes.
I thought it was. But I believe it was in association with the.
It certainly
Queen Mary.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my expectation was, being a student of aesthetic medicine, I always look for opportunities and a first-hand experience. So that was my expectation, to get opportunities where I could practice the skills that we've learned on a first-hand experience. Like
So I know so far we've been looking at so there were lots of lectures, and then there was a kind of a group activity, wasn't there, whereby there was a series of profiles. We were looking at sort of noses, and it was a sort of highlighting the hills and the valleys, and then just working out what your initial approach would be with that client. So was that kind of practical exercise? Would you say that was useful?
That was very useful, and that's what I was looking forward to, and I'm still looking forward to getting more practices and those kind of lectures where you learn something, at the same time you get a chance to practice on it as well.
But the exercise was particularly useful, because often when you're learning by yourself and you've got no guidance there, whereas because you've got world-class plastic surgeons telling you exactly what you should and shouldn't be doing, and you're given that opportunity beforehand to have a go, you can really sort of match up with what you thought you should have done and then what the experts are telling you to do. So that was really useful.
I do agree that to have a bank of expertise and to be able to work with a variety of people, sort of peers who you're studying with, as well as other delegates who have come along for the session. So it does have a very kind of broad international feel about it.
And also they're really approachable, so even though they're top of the field, the fact they had the questions and answers, I felt we could ask questions that were possibly a bit silly, but actually they were so open and explain it so well that you feel, actually I could take all this knowledge on and use it in my practice, even as a beginner like I am.
I thought it was interesting that they were covering different sort of skill levels. So there was something more for beginners and then something more for advanced people. So you really got a sense, well, I had a sense that it was very inclusive. Yeah.
And actually, as a beginner, I find it really useful to listen to the advanced questions, because it then furthers my understanding as a whole anyway.
Yeah. How did you, I mean, because there was time spent on what can go wrong. So was that of particular value to you?
That was definitely, so that's what I was about to point out, because as a beginner, it's very important not to do things that could easily go wrong. And they were very particular about highlighting the areas where we could have mistakes and where we can have unfavorable consequences. So at the same time, they were also reassuring us not to get scared away from trying those things in practice.
I think it's a very good point to highlight the risks, but also to offer what you can do should that happen. So I know that Dr. Bensliman talked about fat graft, that he was able to use that procedure to sort of minimise the damage that had been caused using laser treatment. So I felt that was, as you say, kind of reassuring, because stuff goes wrong and then you deal with it.
I completely agree in terms of I've been on lots of other courses, and in terms of practical advice, they tell you where not to do, but in terms of practical advice, it wasn't really there. Whereas the tip with the adrenaline, that's something I would definitely take on board. I've not heard it before, and I was really convinced that's something that can reduce not any, but reduce complication risk, certainly.
Thank you both so much for your time. Thank you.